Thank you for joining Catholic Gen X, where the back-to-school specials taught us everything we need to know about life.
Teenage pregnancy.
Yes.
Right.
Gambling. Remember the one where the guy got in too deep with the
Mm-hmm.
bookie? I'm sure there were some drugs.
Oh, yeah.
There was probably a child abuse / sexual
I think
abuse.
there was, yeah.
It had to be. Probably
Yeah.
multiple. Back to school. After school special.
That and what were the sing-along ones? I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Conjunction Junction.
Yeah.
No,
Schoolhouse
that's
Rock.
Schoolhouse
That's
Rock.
it.
That was
Yeah.
on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
I used to love Schoolhouse Rock.
I did too.
I got a DVD of that, and I was so excited to play it for our kids. This is a
Yeah.
long time ago.
I did too.
And it was like all these songs. Like, Dad, this is terrible. Please stop. I was like, no, give it a chance. Like, Dad, we can't stand this. And
Right.
it's all like very culture, like generational specific, because we couldn't turn the channel. We just had to keep watching.
Right. And then you would walk around for days singing Conjunction Junction.
Exactly.
We can still sing it.
Exactly.
Verb, that's what's happening. Electricity, I mean, all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it did kind of like passively work some things in that we did learn.
Right.
That we
It was
the jingle.
helpful.
See, if you listen to our previous episode, we had some elements of this. We've made our lives and our society too much about the damn kids.
Right.
Like when we were kids, we got 3 hours of cartoons on Saturday morning.
Right.
That was it. Maybe an hour after school. They got 24/7, multiple channels.
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons are not special anymore.
Cartoons aren't that good now, and they're weird.
There's a few okay ones.
Anime
but yeah.
ruined everything.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of young people are very into
big anime fan.
No.
You really seem... So that's where you draw the line.
That's
we
where I draw the
finally
line.
found where you
Right.
draw the line.
I'm a Catholic priest. I have lots of lines
But
drawn.
back in the day, though, you weren't. So
Well, no, but
Were you an anime fan back in the
no.
day?
I've always been a bit of a snob.
Tell the truth.
I'm never.
they used to have the
Do you-
weird liquid television on MTV, and they had the anime like
Yeah,
Aeon
like Aeon
Flux or
Flux,
something.
and it didn't make any sense.
It was
Right.
weird. It was really weird.
I'm not going to force you to answer this question, but I'm relatively certain that you have seen the animated film Heavy Metal multiple times.
Not multiple times.
I don't know what that is.
You don't... Did you go to college in the mid-90s?
I did. Heavy metal?
Yeah.
It was
was a
a
Who was
in it?
R-rated cartoon.
I will say I walked in on people viewing it multiple times, but I only sat through it once.
It was an anthology type movie, but it was animated, and it was very edgy for the time.
Yeah.
Kind of. Have you seen Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Black Mirror, like
What's that?
futuristic.
Like
Was I awake in the 90s? I don't
No,
remember.
Black Mirror's a show on
Mirror's-
Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it's like an updated Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but much edgier than
Much
that.
edgier, but
and more sci-fi.
yeah.
But Heavy Metal had gratuitous nudity and sexuality. And
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It was just, yeah.
Did not see
It was
that.
very 80s.
Oh, okay. Yep. I did not see that. So
So
Oh.
Archbishop Thompson, if you're listening, it was a long time ago that I watched that. So
well, he walked in and walked out. He saw immediately what it was.
You just made me think of another very underrated movie,
Okay.
Conan the Barbarian.
no, I think that's appropriately rated. It was terrible.
And the cheap knockoff that might actually be better, Beastmaster, who had
Yes.
the trained ferrets.
Yes.
Beastmaster was pretty good. That was like HBO or Showtime ran that nonstop.
Yeah.
In between Time Bandits, I think.
You know, I have Time Bandits on my list on some streaming service. I've never seen Time Bandits.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a great like kid movie.
Yeah.
Some adventure going through time. Sean Connery was in it. Like
He was?
Like
Sure
one
you're
of the
not mixing
segments.
it up
in-
with Highlander?
No. He was in that for sure.
There can only be one.
The Quickening. That's an underrated movie.
I think that's an underrated movie, but it's a very nerdy movie.
Oh, it is. And the production quality's pretty low.
Yeah.
The special effects are pretty bad.
Right.
But the story's not bad.
The story's not bad.
Sean Connery must have just needed the money back then.
Do you remember who did the theme song for that movie?
No.
Almost certain it was Queen.
Really?
I am immortal. I have inside me.
Now I know
all the
they did
things.
for Flash Gordon. I have to think about that.
That was a bad movie.
It was an awful movie. Yeah, that was really bad. And it was a big movie. I think it was
Yeah.
an expensive
Right.
movie. So kind of changing gears a little bit, and this could tie to things that are happening like 80s movies. Have any of you used the ChatGPT?
I have not. My coworkers have in my presence.
So what are your thoughts about it? I had a long discussion with some friends last night about this.
Well, what it turns out, if you ask it to write something for you, it's very vanilla and identifiable as machine talking.
So that was my first thought, is like a teacher, former professor kind of deal. Like, plagiarism, is bad and under threat of basically getting expelled from university. How would professors, first of all, even like be able to screen or figure out?
They have software now.
So like they can identify if it's AI.
Right. AI identifies other AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
this is starting to feel like the whole Borg thing, right? Like the machines are going to take.
Well, I was thinking Skynet. That's what I was
like
thinking.
2 days away.
I mean, so my friend was saying you can have a conversation with it. I mean, about whatever, and some of it, like the organizing kind of thing. My friend had said, read write me a summary of the book and like narrow it down to like 20 pages, and then you can read so it's not just the abstract. I mean, so you actually would get some of the bulk of the book without having to read it. Or tell me the top 20 places in Manhattan the tourists should see but they don't know about. So, I mean, because, we've all traveled. Some maybe a bit more than others recently. But it's kind of how labor-intensive it is to search and have to look for things.
But, so I've had people tell me that it actually creates harder work in some ways. There was a lawyer in New York who got in trouble because he had AI write a brief and it cited a case that doesn't exist. It made up a case for his brief.
Oh, wow.
And he missed it in checking it.
So he's disbarred now? Or?
I don't think he was disbarred, but he's certainly embarrassed because it was a well-publicized case and everybody knew about it because he did that.
Yeah. So I started to wonder as a psychologist of where, with AI, and, some of this is probably Skynet, but it's kind of where,
I don't know what Skynet is.
Terminator.
Oh.
So about like the heavy metal?
No, I
don't know about Skynet.
I mean, now
movie.
that you say it, I know that was the machines building the machines.
Yes, eradicating human beings. But that part of it,
I would have gone. Sorry,
yeah.
But this is what you do to me. You did this.
Yes.
I think more of the Matrix, where like the machines are actually living off of us, and
yeah. That's more about reality. I think in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they both are, but in the sense of the reality that you experience that isn't real versus the objective reality that is.
And you never really figured out in the Matrix, like...
I haven't seen the third one, so don't ruin it.
It's been 25 years.
That's right.
But you never... I don't think you ever really understand, like... did we create the machines and then give ourselves over to the Matrix, or has the Matrix always been here and they almost created us, or whatever? But in the Terminator universe, like, we created the machines, they got loose and then turned against us.
Well, and then there's some theory about the Terminator actually is part of another, I forget what it is, so I shouldn't even say it, but like it's a prequel to another movie that...
How do you know all this but not know what Skynet is? That's in great detail.
John, we've talked about this. My knowledge is like a flooded bean field. It's very broad, not very deep. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So as a psychologist, I mean, I can see this happening, and I think this is probably people younger than me would be more susceptible. I'm not going to go receive proper mental health treatment from a trained licensed professional.
100%.
I'm just going to talk to like whatever AI that just tells me whatever I need to hear. Tom, you're the most wonderful person ever. They get everything wrong about you. If they only knew you like I do, Tom, you're so wonderful. I mean, I think that kind of stuff, I mean, there is a market for humanity.
It's kind of like, remember when WebMD came out and all of our mildly hypochondriac friends like suddenly had serious diseases because they could just WebMD it, the tiniest symptoms.
Okay,
and
if you say you don't look things up on the internet when I'm going to call you a liar.
What, of being sick?
Yeah.
I rarely get sick. And when I do, I'm like, gotta go make the donuts.
That's right.
Time to make the donuts.
That's right. Well, for him, retirement's death, so
Right.
he's not in any hurry to go to the doctor. So I'm
Looking for early retirement.
I am. I'm like, take me now, Jesus. I'm ready.
And maybe this is a little too sci-fi, but it's amazing how like this technology is developed. I'm very ignorant of really all of it, but how far it could go.
I think you would get into Black Mirror, because this is the kind of stuff that Black Mirror deals with.
Wasn't there that movie a few years ago? Was it called Her? I didn't see it, but the guy falls in love with an AI voice.
Oh yeah,
There's been a few movies like that. Yeah.
there's a lot of jokes there. There's a lot of jokes, but I think that part of it is of where that aspect, how people get, and this is for the super psychology nerds listening. Sherry Turkle, who's a psychoanalyst that works at MIT, talks about this of where how with AI or other forms of technology, people want the intimacy without the attachment. They don't want this, the three of us talking, good friends about whatever. I just want the bottom line, which is going to be gratifying to me without the work.
So the most interesting thing you said there is there are psychologists that work at MIT.
Yeah. This lady actually since the 70s. She's very interesting.
Wow.
She writes like only about human interactions like with technology. So that could be like working the factory line versus AI versus like anything in the middle.
Can you imagine being a psychologist at MIT?
Wait, I bet you make a lot of money.
You know, they're still a university.
They're MI freaking T.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it does make me curious about how far I think this can go. I mean, for us, we've lived long enough.
Right.
You know, I was kind of joking last night. It's a bit of where, you know, like our grandkids, it'd be like almost where like what our grandparents would have been of where I remember before there was electricity
It's
or
like
like plumbing.
It's like the steam engine.
Yes.
The steam engine was going to put everybody out of work. Well, it didn't. It maybe changed the work some people did. AI will do the same thing. It will add productivity in places. It will change productivity. But we're not all going to end up like that scene in Wall-E. Remember the movie Wall-E where they're all morbidly obese in space and they don't even walk anymore?
Well, I mean, you got to have goals, Tom. So, I mean, there's always retirement. So, I mean, if you have AI and like whatever robot that's going to go ahead and, you know, get what you need to and get your laundry and stuff.
Hey, I'm still waiting for... I watched the Jetsons growing up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting for Rosie, the housekeeper. I'm waiting to be able to punch what I want to eat into a machine and it comes out in a pill. I'm waiting for all those
That does
things.
remind me, the other day, one of my staff sent me a text that they had to run home kind of first thing in the morning. They just got to the office because their it turns out their Roomba set off their burglar alarm. So, you know, Rosie's here.
I remember not that long ago thinking about, you know, there'll be a day when you'll be able to sit down in your living room and turn your TV on and through some mechanism, you'll be able to watch just about anything you want.
Yeah.
And that came way faster than we expected it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the cartoon Johnny Quest when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of that, like...
You just liked it for its overtly racist tones with...
No, I liked it. It was like they could do, like, they could fly, and they had, like, this television screen phone kinds of things. Now we call it a smartphone. I mean, how a lot of that stuff, even, I guess, probably in the 60s, really
Go ahead and say it.
What
show predicted all this?
The Jetsons?
Star Trek.
Star Trek did. Definitely. What was I going to say? Rosie, Johnny Quest. Forget it.
This is fascinating radio.
Do you know why Gen Xers are angry?
No.
Because we had to get rid of our 8-tracks, and then our
I've seen
cassettes, and then our CDs, and then our MP3s, and now we have to pay to listen to music we've already bought 4 times on a streaming service.
Oh, it gets better. This is the most Gen X thing ever. For Christmas, my wife got me Purple Rain on vinyl.
Oh,
That's outstanding. That's a great album. That's the weird thing. It's my son had gotten he got a record player, has vinyl, loves that, and it's like, you know, like what is old is new.
right.
Like we've lived long enough, I think, to see that.
It's easy for me to say this, but I have always said I prefer the sound of vinyl. There's something about the
It's
quality
warm,
of that. It's
crackle,
warm. That's what
yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
said. It's warm. But
Well, it's not as clean because some like recordings you can hear the artist take a breath or things. I mean, you can just
Right.
it's a lot more like really the way that it was. It's not like overly produced and just so kind of sanitary. So I don't need to worry, Tom, about I don't have to go and start buying rations and move to the mountains.
Oh, no, you should do that, but not because of AI. That has more to do with the government conspiracy with the... I was going to say something absurd,
It's okay.
but...
We have a new government. It's all good.
It is funny, like strange, where even our podcast it's transcribed.
Right.
Like as far as like the platform, like we'll do all that too, and then so it also means like our voice and things like that. And well, I'm starting to sound like a prepper, aren't I? But it's funny where I was talking to my kids about this of where like liberty and privacy and things like that too, and like third parties like being able to track or like whatever we have. And it's kind of where like, well, why does that matter? It's like because it's yours. You're not giving something away.
If you want to read a frightening book, came out fairly recently. It's called The Death of the Truth. And it's how the internet basically just creates the truth. And about like these internet videos that they purport are things, but there's ways they can go out and figure out, no, this really wasn't shot in Los Angeles last week. It was shot in Sarajevo 5 years ago, but they piece it all together, and we are being manipulated in ways that we don't even realize
24/7.
we're being manipulated.
Yeah.
News media for sure, and I think part of that is people being so angry or afraid it increases viewership.
Right.
So because if it's boring, like when we get off and rants
The
the podcast,
interesting thing is, if I were to preach in a way that it would be like popular online, right, like angry and fearful, I would lose half my congregation. Now, the people that remained would be hardcore, 100% committed, right? But half people, it's interesting. People want that in every area of their life except in church.
I've always thought you should be more like Benny Hinn.
Oh my God!
Is he the one who blew on people?
Yes.
he and Ernest Angley, and they're going to say Benny Hill. He's British.
So we keep coming back to 80s movies today. This makes me remember the movie Conspiracy Theory?
Oh yeah.
Where you find out at the end he wasn't crazy.
Right.
Yeah, he's worked for the CIA. Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a movie. Had some twists and turns there. So, well, I may give it a try then. I was hoping that...
What are you going to do with that?
part of it for me, what
Like,
would be interesting is...
ChatGPT, generate my therapy session for the bipolar.
I wouldn't do anything for like working with people. I think there's kind of an efficiency of where, like, what are some marketing ideas about blah, blah, blah. So I don't have to use a search engine.
Yeah.
And a lot of junk comes up.
It's reasonably good. You're using it now. Mm-hmm. When you do the Google search.
Yeah, it shows the AI thing right at the top.
Yes. An application I will be using it for in the not too distant future is to review contracts. You can tell it terms you care most about, and it will scan the document and it will pull those terms out and it will tell you if it meets your parameters.
What about the things you missed you didn't actually put in the search parameters?
Well, I mean, it's not gonna. I'm still gonna have to read the document, but it's gonna pull out the key points for me very quickly.
Sounds like you're just trying to skip through it a bit. So.
Oh, I am.
I can only imagine kind of the...
You should sometime, just as you'd have to come up with an appropriate way to do this, you should have it write a homily.
Oh, gosh.
And tell us all that this
I
is
knew a priest locally who printed his homily. Now, it was a person wrote it, somebody, but he would every week just get online and print off a homily and read it.
So somebody else's homily and just
Right.
go ahead and really?
Yeah.
Did he quote the original source?
No.
That's 0 for 2. That's not good.
No.
It's not copyrighted.
Probably not.
I have heard stories of, I don't want to be pre-specific, I should say ministers of a different era who would keep files.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they roll around, they just pull the file
I
out.
know some priests like that, too. Yeah. I can't do it. I have on occasion taken like the central image or the introductory story or whatever and reuse that. But when I've tried to give the same homily about a fourth of the way through, I'm like, this is terrible. I hate this.
But I'm guessing how many, the most you preach, I guess, on a weekend now is 2 times usually,
2 times.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, even though, like, if Father Roscoe is on vacation and I'm doing 3 or 4 masses on a weekend, by the time I start the third homily, I am done.
Yeah.
So he starts, he's like, yada, 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 Jesus loves you. And then
Sorry you couldn't make it to an earlier mass.
But you don't even write an outline, right?
No, not like on paper, no.
I would at least need to write an outline, I think. That's a gift you have.
it is a gift. You're a very good homilist. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no Father Andy, but...
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's the rule that Father Peter has to die before.
But see,
him, so
Father
Andy,
Andy, here's the thing. I was talking about this with staff today, actually. Father Andy is charming, right? He's a lovely man. He's got an easy charm about him. He's charismatic. So, like, he can give a homily from a text. And I think that's a superior way to preach. I'm not charming in any way. People find me unapproachable. They find me cold, whatever. People tell me they're scared of me, whatever. So if I preach from a text, which I actually prefer to do, I think the homily is better, but people tell me they feel less connected with me. And so I forego kind of the level of homily I think I could do for that effort at saying, you don't have to be terrified of me.
See, I don't disagree with anything you just said. The thing about your homilies is they're very folksy.
Right.
Like in there's a phrase we use for attorneys, you call them an all shucks.
Right.
Like Matlock.
Right.
Oh,
That's
shucks, I'm just a poor old...
That is very
and that is your preaching style.
It's not fake.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying
fake,
that's your style.
It's intentional. That's what I'm trying to do is say, look, you don't need to be afraid to approach me, because when it comes down to it, we're all just baptized beloved sons and daughters. Now, I've been given an ontological change through baptism and some authority in the church, but that doesn't have to put you off.
I think part of that is where, I mean, there is true chemistry. Some people click better with others. I think a lot of that is of where the laity want to make priests to be what they want them to be.
Yeah.
And I am defensive and protective of priests. I work with a lot of them. But I think I hear that.
You're also guilty of that.
Well, no, I've only written... Let me think about this. I sent one email to a priest. But it wasn't... I respect priests. I mean, if they're wrong, I mean, that's something, different. I don't like bludgeon people with that. But I sent one thing that I had a concern. It was really more about the decorum of Mass. And it wasn't about, the problem with you is, here's my 10-point plan to make you better. So, and I do have respect for the authority of priests. But I think that the average person is where they want a priest that makes them feel good above all else.
Right.
And then if there's a few other nuggets in there, as far as evangelization or catechesis, where that's fine. And I think that they, Father Andy. So Father Andy is the rector of the seminary where we work. So that part of it, where that's just a natural gift for you.
Right.
You could do those things, but it wouldn't really be fully you giving of yourself.
Right.
So I think that the laity, the struggle with that is that they want to control or fashion it to be what they want it to be. And that gets into more of the mega church kind of approach. I am the customer. I mean, I'm coming in. I'm putting a few bucks in. I want good coffee, I like a nice drama, and some good music. And so I want to be entertained and feel better after Mass as opposed to worshiping God. And so I think that part of it of where, we don't always get what we want, we get what we need.
Right.
Listen to Mick Jagger.
Right.
You like that? I kind of worked that in there too.
I'm a Rolling Stones guy.
When somebody would catch that. So I think that that's something where ChatGPT could probably write a homily about, God wants you to have a new Cadillac and health and wealth kind of stuff. But
I do think, so my great saving grace, I think a lot of priests, unfortunately, the only feedback they get on their homilies is the sweet little old ladies walking out of Mass who say, "Oh, great homily today, Father." And they're being sweet, but,
I give you feedback.
you give me feedback. But I don't think a lot of priests have a Tom in their parish.
Broke the cardinal rule.
But I have those high school boy servers. And so as soon as I turn to walk back to my chair, I can see on their faces the feedback if I've done a good job or not. And
But they're laughing and they're shaking their head now.
You also used to have a deacon, I'm guessing, that would be very
oh
honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah. I had a deacon who had no bones about telling me what a terrible job I did.
Well, I see, priests will tell me this, as far as I work with them, like, professionally. Sometimes the sweet little ladies, thank you, honey, that was so great. And some are like, yeah, Father Peter, can you, like, wrap it up, like, make it a little bit too long?
Right.
And things like that. And I feel really bad for, like, the associate pastors and parochial vicars because they're treated like the baby priests.
Right.
And then so it's kind of where it says they're going to kind of, like, mentor them and kind of help coach them. But all they're trying to do is get them to do what they want them to do.
Yeah.
And so that part of it, I think people tend to kind of push back against the new guy, which I don't think is good. So I didn't know we were going to go down this direction.
Right.
This is what you had planned?
No.
I'm not 100% sure how we got here. Sorry if I've hijacked.
No, it's the Holy Spirit just for getting things done.
Well, the reality that I'm perceiving through the tube that I'm hooked up to is...
Here we are back to the Matrix.
What is it, the red pill or the blue pill? I can't remember. So thank you for listening. Again, please send us an email at catholicgenx@gmail.com. Handwritten letters, typed letters, carvings, anything can be sent to P.O. Box Hieroglyphics 17333, Indianapolis, Indiana 46227. See you soon.